An up-and-coming guard whose childhood was molded by his military background.
She never made excuses. She had 5 kids and made sure everybody was where they were supposed to be, and she was halfway across the world.
Basketball became his outlet.
I always loved basketball. We didn't have a lot of money for my mom to send me to camp, so she told me to write a letter.
And formed his willpower.
Johnson, oh, left-handed hammer.
Persistent to prove himself at every level.
Oh, Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson, 3-ball on the way, swish, he puts it in.
He's made us watch him, he's made us play him, he's made us sign him, he's made us love him.
Tyler Johnson flies through the air with a left-hand jam by Johnson.
I think the biggest thing is trying to figure out a way to really put a stamp on this team and this organization. They've really invested in me as a player, so I want to show that same respect and really take my game to another level.
Inside the Heat, Tyler Johnson. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Heat. Hello again, everybody. I'm Eric Reed. In the summer of 2016, the Miami Heat re-signed restricted free agent Tyler Johnson to a blockbuster deal, keeping him right here in Miami, where he played in just 68 games over his first 2 NBA seasons. And while Heat Nation had seen enough to know of his potential, well, now he is a well-kept secret no longer. In his undrafted road to the NBA, Tyler Johnson has always overcome every obstacle, and that's been his way ever since childhood with his mom, Jennifer, an active member in the U.S. Air Force, and Tyler and his siblings were constantly moving about the country, so basketball became his outlet. The Tyler Johnson story begins on May 7th, 1992 in Grand Forks, North Dakota. But it doesn't end there. The Johnson family lived in 5 different states before moving to the Moffett Federal Airfield Base in Mountain View, California.
I went there when I was in 4th grade. Mom moved because of the military. We lived on the military base there. You know, it's a place where I like to call home. My mom still lives there.
What was your life like while you lived there?
Back in that time, we actually had a lot of kids on base, so there would be like 20, 30 kids outside. We would play big games with manhunt or tag. We would get games of 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. And we'd have a winner's court and all that. So it was actually a lot of people you could go play with.
You mentioned your mom and her involvement with the military. Tell us about what her job was like and what that was like for you.
When she moved us to California, her job was in search and rescue. If somebody got trapped up in the mountains or something like that, her platoon would go and take care of. So sometimes she would have to be on missions, and we wouldn't really have contact with her for the night or something like that. And then she would deploy. I think her first deployment was when I was in 5th grade. She was gone for 6 months, so our family had to become really close in order to get through those times when my mom was gone.
Her life and her job with the military, how'd that impact you in terms of her as a role model?
I think the biggest thing was just no excuses, that toughness that she instilled in all of us, because she wasn't able to be around as much as she would like to, but she never made excuses. I mean, she had 5 kids and made sure everybody was where they were supposed to be, and she was, you know, halfway across the world. So, I mean, how am I supposed to make an excuse on anything I'm doing?
And how about all the moves that you had to make? How'd that impact you?
I went to 3 or 4 different schools by the time I was in 4th grade, so it's definitely tough on a kid to start making friends and then move. But I think that's why my siblings were so close. It was just we only had each other.
The bond Tyler shared with his 4 siblings helped him throughout his childhood, but another source of joy became paramount in his life as well.
I always loved basketball. That was my first love. I played other sports, but that was the one that I wanted to be great at.
But basketball was more than that. It was also his first sentence. At 2 years old, Tyler spoke 3 simple words: shoot the ball.
As early as I can remember, my love for basketball has been there. You know, that's where you would find me before school. That's where you would find me after school, was shooting somewhere.
When you were 12 years old, you penned a letter to the Golden State Warriors about their summer camp. Tell us about that.
We didn't have a lot of money for my mom to send me to camp, so she told me to write a letter. and maybe see if they would identify with it.
Dear Warriors, my name is Tyler Johnson. I'm writing to see if maybe I could get a scholarship to your Warrior camp. I am an athlete, and my parents don't have a lot of extra money to spend to send us to camps. I love to play basketball, and it's a great hobby. Yes, I do have a basketball dream of playing college ball, and yes, I do have a backup plan. These are the reasons I want to go to Warrior camp. From Tyler Johnson.
They wrote me back within a couple days and told me that they would absolutely take care of me going to camp, and that was definitely a big moment in my life just because, you know, it's the Warriors, and anytime you can be a part of a, you know, NBA camp, it was big for me.
Little did you know what was coming. By the time high school comes, you're at St. Francis High School in Mountain View, California, and you guys competed and got to win a NorCal title.
I think the biggest thing that happened to me while I was there was my sophomore year. I had gotten cut from the varsity team. You know, from that point, I just didn't want anybody to ever doubt in my ability again, so I think that's when I really started to make a commitment to basketball. It paid off.
The play of the week goes to Tyler Johnson from St. Francis. We love his speed. We love the dunk.
In the 2 years Tyler played varsity, St. Francis compiled a record of 60-7. After falling short of the NorCal Division Championship his junior year, Tyler led St. Francis back to the title game as a senior.
The St. Francis Lancers storm the 4M dog pile out the buzzer. 48-47, unbelievable.
Tyler's game-high 19 points and 10 rebounds proved crucial in a tight victory. Numerous honors followed for him, and it became clear that the kid who once was cut from his high school team was now one step closer to his basketball dream.
You had your choice of some colleges. Talk about what recruiting was like and why you ultimately chose Fresno State.
Recruiting, you know, I had a lot of mid-major schools. It really came down to Fresno State and Utah State. My mom really wanted me to go to Utah State and kind of, you know, get out of California, experience things for myself, but I was hard-headed, and I wanted to stay close to home. And I also wanted to give her an opportunity to make up for all the games that she didn't get to see when I was in high school.
With his mom in mind, Tyler chose to be less than 3 hours away from his family in Mountain View to attend Fresno State University. As a Bulldog, he appeared in all 31 games his freshman year and averaged just over 4 points a game.
Johnson drives, hangs in the air. Well done.
But it was his attitude and his effort that shined through, even if that meant sacrificing his body.
Heat fans know you for your toughness, willing to give up your teeth if you have to at the NBA level. But that started a long time ago for you, and you had some instances with that at Fresno, didn't you?
Yeah, that started my sophomore year. Dove on the ground for a loose ball. Somebody fell on the back of my head. My teeth went into the court. So I've had a long dental history, for sure.
Johnson, oh, a left-handed hammer. Wow.
Tyler continued making strides and steadily improved his game over his next 3 college seasons. As a senior, he was named to the All-West second team while averaging almost 16 points a game, finishing 16th on the Bulldogs' all-time scoring list. He had vastly improved his long-range shooting as well, shooting 43% from downtown.
Johnson wastes no time, and he connects on the 3.
By the time you got to your senior year at Fresno State, you got your three-point game going, great athleticism. How had your game grown? And take us back to your senior year at Fresno State.
Yeah, well, when I came in, people really knew me for being an athlete. Gonna play hard, you know, stick my nose in on defense and do all that. But I think my freshman year, I shot like 19% from 3. And I just kept getting a lot of crap from people back home that, you know, I couldn't shoot and everything. I think what it came down to, I wasn't putting the time in to be a good shooter. And we had a coach come in, Rodney Terry, who really demanded for people to be in the gym and get in that extra work. And so me and my guy, Cesar Guerrero, I think we really took that to heart. And, you know, we just spent a lot of time in the gym, and my game developed from there.
Another great thing happened to you in your senior year. You and your fiance, Ashley, had a baby boy, Damien. How did you balance fatherhood, being a college kid, and playing college basketball all at the same time?
I mean, it was tough, but we had a lot of help. I mean, her parents, my parents, we had a lot of support from people who really cared about us, and so it didn't seem as hard. I think our classes happened to work out where I could be home half the day and she could be home half the day. So we didn't have to, you know, find a babysitter and leave our newborn with with somebody that we didn't really know. So, you know, I think it just speaks to the amount of support that we had at that school in our family.
With his senior season winding down, Tyler was adjusting as a new dad and had to think about what life would be like after college. He had talent leaving Fresno State, and he knew he wanted basketball in the picture. But what he really wanted was a chance to be seen by NBA teams.
Well, I knew I wanted a chance to play Summer League. I think that's the only thing that I was really working towards. There was a lot of people talking to me about going overseas, but I just wanted a chance to play Summer League. And luckily, I linked up with a good guy, Pedro Power, who gave me an opportunity, helped give me an opportunity just to get my foot in the door. I was fortunate enough to make the Heat Summer League roster and then never look back.